us to feel stupid. That's how they want us to be. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. That's how they want us to be. That's how they want us to be. They've been celebrating all these days. They've been celebrating all these days. So what about the slavery days? So what about the slavery days? They've been celebrating all these days. They've been celebrating all these days. So what about the slavery days? So what about the slavery days? Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. That's how they want us to be. That's how they want us to be. They know that I know. And I know that they know. They know that I know. And I know that they know. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. That's what they want us to do. That's what they want us to do.
A pleasant good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen, and how are we doing this afternoon?
They told us things will be better. They told us things will be cheaper. They told us things will be easier. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
This is the voice of Burning Spears.
Things stupid. So they
It is the 27th day of September 2023, ladies and gentlemen.
That's how they want us to be. They've been celebrating all these days. They've been celebrating all these days. So what about the slavery days? So what about the slavery days? They've been celebrating
Go ahead right now and share up the live, ladies and gentlemen. Let them know that I'm on right now.
days. So what about the slavery days?
Let them know that the class is in session.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. That's what they want us to do. That's what they want us to do. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, so we would have another wonderful day. I want to welcome everybody that is attending the class right now. To the persons on my YouTube page, I want to say good afternoon to you. To the persons that are there on my Facebook page, I want to say good afternoon to you also. And God's blessings to each and every one of you. Welcome to another class in session program hosted by yours truly, Royalty James. I want to say I pray that everybody would have had a wonderful day. God's blessings to each and every one of you, as I aforementioned. And let's get ready to jump into some information. Today, I want persons to make note that you can feel free today to call in. Ensure that when you call in, you are calling to give relevance to the conversation that we're having. And please note that even if you try to make a prank call, that you basically would be calling on my WhatsApp, so the number will automatically be stored, right? Try not to be obscene, insultive, or threatening in any way. Try not to defamate anybody's character in any way, and we would have a wonderful day. So feel free to calling today. Go ahead right now, share the live. Let somebody know that I am on. Let them know that the class is presently in session. All right. I want to start today, ladies and gentlemen. Just giving a quote, or should I say a motivation to persons. All right. So permit me now to just give that slight motivation.
To all of you watching here, come close to the screen and listen. People don't have to like you. People don't have to love you. They don't even have to respect you. But when you look in the mirror, you better love what you see. You better love what you see.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this was just a very brief, advice to persons. I want to implore to persons out there. You don't live your life to please everybody, right? We all are sinners. All of us have fallen short of the glory of God. And so what is important, that when you look at yourself and you weigh and balance and you realize to yourself and say, hey, you know what? I may not be where I really want to be. I may not be perfect, but I love who I am. And that is what is important, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to just ensure that is, embedded in your mind, the mere fact that you are your best you. And the only person that can improve you is you. All right? So let's feel free to jump into the conversation today, ladies and gentlemen. And what has been buzzing on the airwaves? I want to start by saying today I was on a research trail, man. I want to say good evening to Carla Walcott. You assisted me greatly today, I must say that. I want to say that, so that's my star student. I mean, I hope nobody else feels bad, right? But that's my star student. We normally, she normally gives relevance to, conversations and topics. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to zero in on a conversation that have surfaced after the throne speech yesterday of the opening of Parliament that speaks to oil and gas. Now, I want persons, and you guys know me very well. I like to be evidential in what I do. I like to bring information to the fore. And I must say, Carla Walcott, you did an awesome job today in making everything vivid. But I guess everybody didn't get a chance to see Carla's page. So today we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down, right? For those of you all who don't know the situation, the throne speech yesterday, the Governor General would have made mention as it relates to oil and gas and how much this government believes that the conversation of oil and gas, that of the past, has not brought forth anything fruitful or anything substantial that they would have researched thus far, as they mentioned, and have not gotten such. So I want to play this very first clip right here.
Minister Bowen was Minister for Energy for a long time. If they know where the files are, then they can certainly, in the public interest, direct the technocrats at the public, at the various ministries where the files can be obtained, so that they can provide the files to us. I'll challenge the opposition leader. If he says he knows where the file is, ask him if his colleague ministers know where the files are. Right? If they know where the files are, then either them or him can publicly indicate where the files are, where they've been stored, and how the files can be accessed, and indicate that to the public servants so that they can tell us. So when I say to you, we had written transition reports from every ministry. Oil and gas was not mentioned in a single report.
Dr. Mitchell, however, said that the exploitation efforts, which were started under prior administration, had continued under the 2008 NDC administration.
Enough documentation, how you mean? That's years of that. Don't forget, the government that came into office, NDC, before this one, and would have followed up on a number of activities. So it's a very strange, I'm saying it's a blatant lie.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it there yourself. The conversation surrounds that of the present administration claiming or making claims that at this present time, and after doing all the researches and reports and so on, there is information that they have not gotten any form of information concerning oil and gas. But let me push forward further, ladies and gentlemen. I had played this before, so let me remind you of it. Now tell me, after this clip is played, where, ladies and gentlemen, did the Prime Minister got the information to what he made public in this clip? Listen to it.
Venezuela and Trinidad have oil, and Trinidad is in boundary with Grenada. So I believe that we have oil. I really believe. So, so my question to you Mr. Deacon Mitchell, do you have any plan to correspond with the government of Venezuela to establish an agreement to determine the marine boundary between Venezuela and Grenada as concern oil and gas in those waters?
Listen to the response.
Second question.
Well, I should answer that first one, yes. But I will go further and say, there is clear evidence that oil and gas, the extent of it which we don't know, have in fact been discovered in the territorial waters of Grenada.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Deacon Mitchell mentioning to the Grenadian people for a question answered that there is evidence, there is circumstantial evidence that there is oil and gas. Where did this circumstantial evidence came from? I don't know. However, ladies and gentlemen, if you have circumstantial evidence as it relates to that findings, answer me this. Where did you get your evidence from? You are mentioning that it is evidential that oil and gas has been a conversation in Grenada. You're accepting that. You're accepting that that oil and gas that has been mentioned, it is evidential that it has been found on our waters. No going back, and let's leave Mr. Deacon Mitchell's statement for a while, and let's go back, way back. Let's go way back, because at the end of the day, the Prime Minister is basically saying that, hey, we're wanting persons like Mr. Bowen to bring evidence and the political leader to bring evidence. But let me say to Mr. Deacon Mitchell, this didn't start with the New National Party. Let me help you or jot your memory.
Grenada may be officially entering the oil and gas market by March next year. The way has been cleared with the recent signing of an energy cooperation agreement between Grenada and Trinidad. This was done as a follow-through to the Maritime Boundary Delimitation Agreement, which was signed between both countries in 2010. Maritime Boundary negotiations.
Pause for a while. So now you hear when those documents were signed. I hope persons are following me. Those documentation was signed in 2010. Remember Deacon Mitchell saying yesterday that throughout his findings, there were absolutely not one piece of documentation that spoke to oil and gas. However, there is a document that was signed way back in 2010 concerning the conversation of oil and gas, not under the New National Party, but it happened under the National Democratic Congress. To the same person who now a committee, another board form again. Another board. I don't know if it's Ply 2x4, but he have more board that form again. However, that board is headed by the same individual who signed the documentation in 2010 in that of Mr. Nazim V. Burke. So you're asking Mr. Bowen and Dr. Mitchell to present documentation that gives information to the oil and gas conversation. But however, the person who heads the board as present signed the documentation way back in 2010 about oil and gas. Let's go.
Negotiations between Grenada and Trinidad and Tobago restarted in 2009 after they failed to reach consensus during talks in the 1990s. Finance Minister Nazim Burke has announced that the two countries will cooperate in conducting seismic searches of the maritime waters to determine what hydrocarbon resources lie in Grenada waters and where they are located.
Based on the program of work that we have now developed and identified, we can say that it is the intention of both governments to go to market jointly with a block for exploration as early as March of next year. This would mark a very historic step in the history of our country, because this would be Grenada's official entry into the oil and gas industry.
The agreement also states that the two countries will be able to jointly hire seismic companies to conduct searches. They also agreed to the establishment of a joint development zone to determine when and how blocks will be put on the international market.
For the first time, it will allow us to cooperate in the field of training of our people. That Trinidad is going to help us to train some of our own people to prepare them for entry into the hydrocarbon industry. It will allow for cooperation in the sharing of seismic data, so information that they have about oil and gas location, they will share with us. And what we find, we will share with them.
Finance and other officials say it will be a major development for Grenada should searches reveal that oil and gas are indeed present in its territorial waters. They say this will be a major boost for what is evidently a severely cash-strapped economy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need not to go again. Now, this is 2010. Documentation signed by Mr. Nazim V. Buck. Right? So, even if you're mentioning that the past administration does not have information or does not bring forth information, your previous predecessors, your previous persons within the National Democratic Congress would have signed documentations that gives evidence as it relates to the oil and gas conversation. Mr. Deacon Mitchell, let me help you further. A parliament sitting was held where the hydrocarbon exploration bill was passed. And let me make that again vocal for you to hear.
Hydrocarbon exploration incentives bill passed in the lower house today provides for a number of incentives for large petroleum companies. The Hydrocarbon Exploration Incentives Bill passed in the lower house today provides for a number of incentives for large petroleum companies. These incentives include custom duties exemptions and income tax incentives, among others. However, interested companies bidding will have to make an initial investment exceeding $80 million in order to qualify. Tabling the bill in Parliament was Minister for Works and Public Utilities Gregory Bowen.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bill to pass in the House of Parliament. So, there must be documentations within the House of Parliament that goes further in speaking about oil and gas. So I don't know how it is that the present Prime Minister is telling this country that he went through all form of documentations and nothing came up about oil and gas. When there is a bill passed in the House of Parliament that speaks to oil and gas, there was a bill passed in the House of Parliament. So how are you telling our Grenadian people that there is absolutely no documentations or finding that was found from your records of the past concerning oil and gas? There was a Parliament sitting, a bill was passed, tabled by the then Minister Bowen. So even if you don't want, you can find it anywhere else. The House of Parliament speaks to oil and gas conversation with a bill passed, Mr. Prime Minister.
Because if he has to pay from his profit taxes, he's going to charge Shell more. And so they would not want to invest in exploration. They're making no profits. So it is at this juncture that we're bringing in the brakes, the incentive. Come in to see if Grenada has something.
Minister Bowen says the company conducting these researches will only incur taxes after oil and gas reserves are detected.
If after you find something and you know there are billions of dollars worth there, then this does not apply, you know. You'll be making monies, you're certain that you'll be making monies, and then you could decide to pay your taxes. The state may then decide what it will do. It will give you a break, because you will say, well, I could go to Trinidad just next door. What do I want to do here? So then you might tell them, instead of the 30% taxes on corporations, you might say for the oil and gas industry, tax is only 10%.
The government is also advocating for locals to receive temporary employment with these oil companies.
The workers on these rigs are normally foreign persons. We are advocating for some local persons to get employment there.
So I don't want to bore you with, with what Mr. Bowen said. No, this was the bill passed. This was the bill passed. No, Mr. Deacon Mitchell would have even went on further to ask, like, let's know what, let us see what happened. Let us know what happened. Did anything happen? Did any drilling take place? Did we see any rig? Did anything like that happen? And the answer is yes. You want to feel like you think a line? Listen again.
Source shared an image of what he deduced to be an offshore exploration rig situated in Grenadian waters. Our newsroom has also been receiving calls from fishermen claiming to be unaware of the ongoing exploration. Following the Prime Minister's announcement of the intended exploration in June, the Ports Authority says that notice of the drilling was published in local newspapers. A copy of the notice states that exploration.
So right, ladies and gentlemen, you hear about the notice. So it means that government must have gone through some form of administrative process in terms of getting the rig to Grenadian waters. There is photographs that made it evidential that, hey, this was happening. This was happening. This wasn't just a conversation. This wasn't just NNP trying to trick Grenadian people about oil and gas. Our oil rig was pictured in the water and information was out. Notice to mariners, right? Which says, mariners are advised that an offshore exploration rig will be opening in Grenadian waters, 11 degrees, 26.26 minutes, not 062 degree, 10.4 minutes west. Vessels should be kept at minimum 1,000 meters away from the location. The period of activity is expected to last for 3 months, effective from the 3rd of July 2017. Now, this was a documentation, and the Deputy Director of the Maritime Affairs, this was a documentation made present to the Grenadian people when that oil rig was doing what they were doing in Grenadian waters. So there was absolutely no reason for questioning whether or not, or no reason to be questioning whether or not anything was done. We saw the National Democratic Congress making the signature. They would have signed for whatever, for the exploration to take place, right? We saw a bill passing in the House of Parliament, right? Thereafter, then we actually saw physically an oil rig was outside of our waters in 2017. How can the Prime Minister then, with all this documentation found by me and Carla Walcott, can say to the Grenadian people that at no point in time that his administration went through all form of documentation and saw nothing concerning oil and gas? You know why he wants us to, you know why he said that? This is the reason why he said that.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. That's how they want us to be. Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot say to the Grenadian people making such a statement, it shows incompetence on your end. I am simply doing a podcast. I guess Carla Walcott goes along her own business. And we could have gotten those evidence from way back as to 2010, which was made public. So you can't say to me and the Grenadian people that you found absolutely nothing. You can't say that when there is evidence, public evidence. I just gave you 3, maybe there is more. You yourself agreed And I'm going back to what you told the individual when he had posed the question to you.
I'll go further and say there is clear evidence.
Clear evidence.
That oil and gas, the extent of it which we don't know, have in fact been discovered in the territorial waters of Grenada.
So how you know that? How you know that? But then you come back and you say to the Grenadian people, you found no form of information. Nothing at all was found concerning oil and gas. When evidence dates back to 2010, Honorable Prime Minister, which I can make public, which was made public, and I'm making it public again. So we saw the signing, I played for you the signing of the document, which was done by the 2008 National Democratic Congress. We went on further, where the then minister responsible for made it evidential again in the House of Parliament that, hey, listen to me, we're passing this bill so this can happen. It was tabled by Minister Bowen. It was passed as a bill in the House of Parliament. The hydrocarbon exploration bill. It was passed, which gave persons the okay to do the exploration. So we saw the signing. We saw the bill passing. Then it went further to the physical happenings. The oil rig was seen outside of our waters. The public was made aware that, hey, this is what is taking place there. GBN News at the time, and that time, if you recognize the voice, this is our today's Senator Nilon Franklin, who gave the broadcast. Right? So we saw the three main processes taking place. The signature to sign and to go ahead for the exploration. We saw the passing of the legislation to allow it to happen, and we saw it happen, which date back to 2017. We're talking a mere, 6 years ago? You can't find that. You can't find that. But you know that the government owe millions of dollars in medical facilities, how much million dollars, documents that you found, and government is owing. But you can't find nothing about oil and gas. But it took me just a day or less to find it. I don't understand this. The statement alone in itself, people. The statement alone. And I'm not me who said it. He said nothing, absolutely nothing came up. And you see, he wants to jump on Minister Bowen and Dr. Mitchell, but he didn't question or is questioning what did the then National Democratic Congress did. But now Mr. Nazim Bok heads that same board. You understand me? It is fascinating. And you see, it shows further, ladies and gentlemen, the level of its incompetence. It shows further, because you can't tell me after such a long or lengthy period of time, you sit in that position and you see no documentation concerning that. You saying to the Grenadian people, hey, there is nothing here saying about oil and gas. You can't say that to the Grenadian people when you in an interview even further went on to say, you know it is evidential. You know it is evidential. You said, yes, it has happened. So you can't, and you need to, at the end of the day, understand the statement that you're making, Mr. Prime Minister. It's only because there are persons within the realm that is incompetent and is not able to find the information. Right? And look at, I'm speaking. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I'm speaking to you. And a WhatsApp image could come to me saying, the Caribbean island of Grenada has announced the discovery of oil in the in its course after a year of marine 3D seismic survey in the Grenadian offshore basin. So what are you saying to the Grenadian people? So are you now coming to apologize? A joke you make? Is this a joke you made? At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I would go on to continue to speak as it relates to incompetence in this government. Because at the end of the day, if you're, and you see, let me tell you something, and you have to sometimes, you have to sift through it more than realize what is going on. The intention is now to form the distraction. Because we are what the intention really is behind this. And you have to say it and know it. Is to find out now whether or not Grenada found oil. And if Grenada found oil, what happened to the money? That's what they at. So then at the end of the day, they could come back and tell the Grenadian people, they find Grenada sell oil and gas to Trinidad for $70 million or so. Right? Just like the Polish individual, we're still waiting for the cabinet conclusion, and we continue to ask. We continue to ask the general public. We want to, I feel like we'll make a placard. We want that cabinet conclusion on the Polish individual, because you continue to just come and put the headline up. People run with it and you don't follow up. You don't follow up. Or you come and all you put in big headline. People are being castigated with faith project, faith program. What is going on with faith program? Sister Emmeline Pierce still remains loose. You all continue to do that instead of governing this country and paying particular attention to what is important, to what story the engine of this country day to day. You're not focused on that. But you jump on the oil and gas conversation now. Seek to find out more, brother. Seek to find out more. And when you do, let us know. Let us know. Because at the end of the day, it is no evidence. It is so evident every time you find, like, you see me, I don't really do nothing, let me see what I get on this NMP. That's what is being done. That is what is being done. You can't come and make a statement so blatantly. And look at me. Who am I? Those information, those documentation, they're there. They're there for each and every one to see. And you're saying to me, while you sit in an administration, you can't find those documentations? So NMP burned them? And even if they did, there is evidence. Look at that play, how much street clips, one after the other. One after the other could have played them to bring evidence that, hey, this conversation is nothing. I mean, it started with the National Democratic Congress. It started back then. So it dates back to 2010. And even before that. Because I think the new National Party, sometime before the 2008 election, had all that conversations. But I think anything legislatively or anything practical came into being in the National Democratic Congress era of 2008. And you come to the Grenadian people in 2023 and saying to them, you go through all kind of thing and you don't see no information. Lie! You have to call it what it is now. Here Dr. Mitchell mentioned it as it relates to the characteristic. You're just lying. Or you're not doing your work properly in terms of finding the information. That is your issue. Maybe there are faults within the whole process. And maybe persons would have done whatever. But your ability to find it out is what causes you to be lackadaisical and lazy. And so when you come to the Grenadian people, you rather give a lie and then you come back and you try to shade it up with something. You're not being truthful with that information. Because here we have information being made public. Being made public. Somebody else saying that, oh, well, Kid Mitchell, we got to lock him up now for the oil because they get oil on it. Everything. Parliament sitting, signatures, physical aspect of it. Why? Why? At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter is, and this is why This is why I enjoy doing these things, right? And you see, I was telling them already, I don't run with propaganda. I don't run with propaganda. Right? I'm telling you, I'm speaking to you. And listen to me. And listen to me. And you see how it's funny that I'm actually speaking to you. And I'm here on my laptop and I'm getting photographs from persons who might be now listening to me and maybe doing their own little research. Here they find again. Russian-backed players test Grenada's waters. Russian-backed players drill well off Caribbean island, targeting trend that has seen success of Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago. There are things, there are information there. And even when we finish, you don't want my word for it, go on my page. Because whole day, Carla Walker and I has been going at it. Whole day, it's on my page. Just go listen to them, follow the information. Don't be misled by this information. Those information is not true. You can't tell me, and I can say it's not true, you know. The fact of the matter is, they can't find the documentations because of their incompetence. Not because, you know, they. You have some children, you're telling them, you're sending them in the room for something, and all time, daddy way you have it, and you actually specifying to them where it is. You're telling them where it is. And if you want the information, Carla, tag him. You don't have to wait for Dr. Mitchell to give you those information. We can give you that. Contact Carla Walcott and I. We go tell you where all them information is. We don't need 2 days to do it. We don't need 4 weeks. You don't even need to pay us. We can tell you where those. Go into the House of Parliament. Go into the House of Parliament, Mr. Mitchell. A whole bill was passed that it relates to that. But you say to the Grenadian people, there is nothing for. How is that could be true? How could that be true? With so many information. And look at me, I'm bluffing today. I'm bluffing with the information. 3 clips, one after the other. Tell the Grenadian people, you don't find nothing. Nothing you don't find. You understand me, ladies and gentlemen? No, I know the conversation is hot, but the fact of the matter is, I want to go on to another conversation, and very briefly, listen, and I'm not reading it. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Grenada healthcare suffers on the basis as it relates to the ability to come up with innovative and good initiatives to govern that specific ministry. Persons are playing games within the Ministry of Health. Trust me when I tell you that. And we have heard issues as it relates to the Ministry of Health. I have never heard so much in a short space of time. And what I have in front of me is basically a letter that was written by an individual that was sent. So, not an MP that write it, because the person literally sent the letter. It's kind of lengthy. I don't know if you all guys who would be patient enough for me to read it. As it relates to the person's experience involving the 71-year-old mother. And we're not saying, ladies and gentlemen, there have not been issues within our health system. The conversation of health could have been one of our 3 major topics in Grenada for the past decade or plus. And so this administration, so the past and the previous NDC, this National Democratic Congress has not yet, and I'm still saying yet, have not yet prioritized health care in Grenada. I don't know what their focus is on, but healthcare in Grenada is not on the front burner of this administration. By now, I think the motive is to make themselves seem as if they are the ones that came up with the idea and constructed the new wing of the hospital. I think they are more focused on that. Merely every, and you can go ahead. You can go ahead and look at it. The Monjaloo Healthcare Health Center, the Victoria Health Center, Guav, the new wing of the airport, of the hospital. All those constructed in a past administration regime. Right? You come, you give $500. So I've given $500, but no tools to work with. It is time that this administration realize that Mr. Jonathan Lacrette has failed this ministry miserably. And it is evidential, as the Prime Minister mentioned the word a while ago, that this is so. I remember in the regime of Mr. Steele during COVID, and how much, you don't know nothing about healthcare, and what you know about healthcare, what. And now we have what a man that have served as a school teacher for years within our healthcare system. What do you think his intentions would be? He basically campaigned within the party to maybe hold the position as Minister of Youth. Remember that nice speech given? And then this government will see development in youth and youth and youth. Because that is what he was gearing at. So maybe he has not yet come to the realization that he is not in youth, that he is in the health ministry, and is one of the ministries within our country that is on the front burner in any conversation. The health of a nation is the wealth of a nation. And so I don't think that we need to go any further in speaking to this administration as it relates to the failure within the health system. We're seeing it more evident every day. Somebody with a different complaint. Every day is a different complaint. Persons putting up videos. I don't know. Well, I can't say it's frustration, because they're getting more money to work. So I think money is what boosts everything. So give them money, man, and we're going to see it made better. Everybody so far within the systems have gotten money. Everybody get. Teacher get, police get, like a pankwai. Everybody get. But have we seen an improvement in the work condition in these different places? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a no. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much money you put in my pocket, if I don't have the tools to work, if I am not motivated to work, the results would be as if you didn't pay me extra monies to do what I have to do. At the end of the day, the healthcare system that you all mentioned that you all are going to revamp, I don't know how long again you all need it. But this administration, God forbid, a COVID-19 should pass. God forbid that some health outbreak hits Grenada again. Because they are not ready. They're not equipped for such. And it is shown day by day. Somebody's mentioning nurses has to leave Bolio to go and work in Willis. Where are our nurses? I am telling you, ladies and gentlemen, and believe it or not, only today, I had an individual or situation to deal with in the Monjaloo area. And just about after 11, minutes to 11, the doctor would have left that area. Just about after 11. We can't play games with our health, ladies and gentlemen. And we need to call on this administration on many things. Many things, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to end this evening on touching on some things. And I am not, these are not things that I have asked this administration to do within a year and some. This is not what I asked them to do. These were things that they mandated to themselves. And so it starts with marketing board. And as we have 3 more days or so left in the month of September, we're asking this administration, you mandated by September of this year, we should have seen an improvement within the marketing board system. We're asking you, what is going on? What is happening? What development? What feedback do you have for us? The traffic light and its installation and the starting of its operation was supposed to start in June of this year. You mandated this. You mandated this because nowadays you hear them say, so you want them to do that within a year and 3 months? Those things that I'm mentioning here are things, ladies and gentlemen, they mandated themselves. They give themselves that time to do it. I didn't ask them. The 647 units that moved from June to its distribution and improvement to July. I am asking you, what is the status with that? We're heading into October. What is the status with that? Those are things that you mandated. I didn't ask you to. Stony Goat 2023. Well, this one, we still could keep our fingers crossed because we have a few months left in the year. But the budget last year said that we would have seen the commencement of construction. Not soil turning a soil, you know. We should have seen the starting or the start of the construction that should take place in those different areas. The RGPF benefits that was supposed to start its payment at the end of July 31st of this year, officers are still not seeing it reflecting on their pay slips and salaries. So we're asking you, those are things that you mandated. We didn't ask you that. We didn't ask you to do that. You mandated, ladies and gentlemen, that you are going to regularize Imani. That an NDC government would regularize Imani and other public workers within 12 months of taking office. We're on 12 months and we're on 1 year and 3 months. Those are things you mandated. You gave yourself those responsibilities. We didn't ask you. All the things that you mentioned, what I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the things that I mentioned. I can still go on with the plain conversation that we would have seen by October. And you see, let me tell you something within the difference with this thing. Eh? They would say, you want them to do that within a year and something? Remember last year when they promised the payment of pensions? With the money there, the pregnant treasury, it was easy for them. Easier, because the money done there already. You give a time to pay it in November, and you could have started payments right there and then, because the money had already been there. So there was no issue in terms of you having to go and look for the money. The money was there to be paid. The money was there to be paid. So you didn't have no issue. So that was a promise made and a promise kept. So why we have to come and ask you about MNIB and traffic light and the 647 units and the Stony Goat project and the RGPF benefits, and we still have to ask you about regularization? Those are things you mandated. We didn't say that. I remember playing one yesterday that says that an NDC government will end contract workers as soon as they take office. Those are things you mandated. Those are things that you said you're going to do. So I don't want you all to say, oh, you want them to do that within a year and 3 months? Those are things, ladies and gentlemen, they mandated. They promised the Grenadian people that those things are going to happen. They said it. And I believe if I start playing all the clips, and I think that I've played majority, I've played the MNIB clip, I've played the traffic light clip, I played the 447 unit clip, I played the Stony God clip. Well, I have an image of the RGPA benefit where at the end speaks as it relates to the time of payment, the regularization. I have all the clips. I have all of them. Just a click away, and I can make you listen to them. Pay and grade is another conversation. We're asking you. We are asking you, Honorable Prime Minister, along with your members, the things I mentioned, you mandated September, June to July 2023, July 31st, within 12 months. Those are things, ladies and gentlemen, that this administration mandated to get done, and the times given. We didn't ask them. Somebody's messaging me privately and telling me play them. If I start playing them, you would find me not focused on the TV so much, on the program so much, because some of them I may have to search, right? Some of them I may have to go through and try to find them. But it's not hard, ladies and gentlemen. It is not hard. Because all the information that I'm giving you are right there. Let me start. Let me see how best I could help all you. Because the person is asking me to just play one or play two. Let me see which one I give you. Let me give you this one. Let me give you this one, the traffic light. Let me give you the traffic light.
The wiring and the fiber optics have already been run. So basically, we're looking at next week to start the road markings.
Right.
And we are looking at May, the month of May, to complete the installation of the lights. So yes, the lights should be up by June, up and running.
I tell you, I have them on my fingertips.
Wiring and the fiber optics.
I don't have to search the day right day, because of things they said. We're looking for one again. Which one to give you now? I have them on my fingertips, ladies and gentlemen. Got another one here.
More so the government than its citizens. I have repeatedly said, if the task you are performing, if the job you are filling is a job that is always required by the entity that you work for, in this case the government of Grenada, then there should be no issue of you being on a temporary or a fixed term contract. Your employment should be permanent, your employment should be indefinite, and all of the benefits that comes with that should be attributed to your employment. And therefore, the National Democratic Congress commits to regularizing the status of contract workers who are working for the government and Imani workers who are working for the government within 12 months of assuming office.
I tell you, they're right there. So that was the 12 months one. You understand me? That was the 12 months one. They're right there. So when they come, and I keep saying to you guys, and I think Carla Walcott, we would have to see how best we could make a file on Facebook to our supporters when we want them to get the information. You understand me? When we want to give them the information, the truthful and factual information, we have to make a file. So anytime they come to you, just go on my page or Carla Walcott page and just take one and say, listen to me. Me never tell you. I didn't say that, Dikanda said that, and play it. 12 months he said it. 12 months. Within 12 months he's going to do it. I didn't mandate it. Nobody told him, Dikanda, you have to do that. That's what he gave himself. And when a man sticks to his word, that is when he becomes a man. Yeah, Carla, we have to work on we have to work on that, because we want students, we want you guys to be filled with information. We don't want to just run around and jump around and, oh, we hate them. This is not a situation of hate. Because we want to show you that all the time they hold Dr. Mitchell and other ministers of government responsible and asking them, you have to hold them accountable. And now accountable gone out the door. Nobody's holding nobody accountable again. Persons could do and say what they want. And like we forget. And the defense is, Kid Mitchell used to do it. NMP used to do it. It's just a year and 3 months. You expect them to do it. They mandated those things. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I think the information concerning the oil and gas conversation is what I really wanted to get at today. Because as I said, I know many of you, sometimes you know, I think you don't want to sit down and go through certain things on Facebook. So when you see it and then you don't even play it. But when you come to my program, I'll play. Don't worry, you get a chance to listen and get a form of explanation with it to break it down a little bit to you. And today I had to give you the signature, bill passed, physical structure on the ground. And this is the process, ladies and gentlemen, that happens when you're going through these procedures and them. You want to be able to know that the documentation has been signed. There are things that can back you up if something happens, and then you actually see. And I could have played 3 clips that follows, one after the other. One after the other, ladies and gentlemen. What else do you need? Blatantly lying to the Grenadian people that there is no, well, I can't say, but let me not focus on it being a lie. But it shows incompetence that if you have documentation dated from 2010, bill passed, and you're saying to the Grenadian people there is nothing, you found nothing, then the person who was responsible for giving you the information did not give you. Fire them! Because the person that was responsible for giving you the information to come and say, but you know, so we did get that information or X, Y, and Y, we find that information there. And they're just talking loosely about what they achieve and what have you achieved? What have you achieved? Be real with yourself. Be honest. Within 1 year, we expected to do more. We thought it was going to be this, but we realized that we have other income. Just come and tell the Grenadian people that. We might still give you all like a listening ear. Come in and beat your chest. Oh, we did this and we did. What all you do? Luda's Lane was painted in black and white. Alan Francis wronged about. Tantin or Eric Macho Gary wronged about. Had to paint Wall Street, and that's a big implementation. That's a big project to you. A big project. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. Right? And as I always like to end by saying, we can differ. We can be on different sides of the coin. Politics is every day. Don't be scared to talk about politics. But what I advise persons, you have to understand who wants to have a logical conversation about politics. Some people that just does not understand politics and tend to be more argumentative than wanting to understand the conversation. So if you come to me and you want us to have a understanding or understandable conversation, then fine. But don't go around beating conversation about, oh, Kid Mitchell is a thief, and this one is a thief, and Emlyn is this. This is not a conversation that is healthy for you. Right? And so here's the reason why I always say to persons, get your information, get your facts. Come to me, let's sit down and talk about it. Let me hear your side of your story. Right? We can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree. We don't have to agree on everything. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we are Grenadians. And we would love to see each other strive in any way possible. The success of others lays on the back of each and every one of us. Sometimes it's just good to be receptive. Good to be authentic. Show value to yourself. Right? And at the end of the day, it is what it is. The present administration hold governance. And so, when they mess up, we're here, ladies and gentlemen, to call them out. And as Glenda Robinson is saying, we shall hold them accountable And maybe that should be the motto of the class. We shall hold them accountable. When statements are made, we want them to be made factually. And I want to send note to Prime Minister Mitchell. The statement you made yesterday, call Mr. Walcott. We'll walk you through as to where those information can be found. Right? Go into Mr. Nazim Book's file. Maybe go into the House of Parliament. This is the day. I can do the local terminology. The day. Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a special invitation. I wonder if Sister Julie Dubois is on the program today. But I want to send out a special invitation to my persons from St. Mark's to be a part of tomorrow's program. Because remember back then, we were the forgotten parish, as was said. If we were the forgotten parish back then, the question is, what it is now? What is it now? Right? So I really want a lot of persons from St. Mark's to be a part of the program tomorrow. And we're going to dig deep into St. Mark's a little bit. All right? Lovely, Sister Julie Dubois is there. Right? I want to get enough people tomorrow, Sister Dubois, from St. Mark's. Because I'm about to tear up St. Mark's. I'm about to rip aside St. Mark's. St. Mark's is very close to my heart. And at the end of the day, if we were the forgotten parish, and you all asked for the opportunity for us to be made seen throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, we have not even made a move into that right direction. All right? So yes, Andra and Sister Dubois, tomorrow, let them know. Sorry, I don't have a PA system. I want some St. Mark's people on the program tomorrow, people. I want some St. Markians to join me on the program tomorrow, because it ain't going to be easy tomorrow for St. Mark's. I'm calling them out tomorrow. I've done my little research and findings as it relates to little things. And I'm going back to their manifesto as it relates to what they made public as to the developments they say they wanted to see in St. Mark's. St. Mark's, remember St. Mark's had their own manifesto, eh? So we're going to hold them accountable to their manifesto tomorrow. Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, it was another wonderful evening. I hope that somebody would have learned something new, some information that I gave today maybe you didn't know. You understand me? Somebody says Sister Modest was with me up to a few minutes ago listening to you. All right. I'm sorry she left, because I need her here tomorrow also. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So tomorrow we are going to join again, same time. On a Thursday, I like to give persons a little. Rodney George is the new chairman of Grenlec. Oh, thank you very much, Gemma Warwood. I'm happy that you would have joined in and you would have gotten information that was most relevant to what we're speaking about. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me tomorrow. More than likely, I would start just a little bit past the hour of 6. I like to give persons the opportunity to tune in to Sister Jenny Simon. Sometimes she has information. Sometimes I get a little information. Sometimes while sitting in the studio getting ready to start, I normally listen to her. All right. So then, sometimes it is that kind of way. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Glenda Robinson, I guess you have some information. You need to start messaging me. You need to start messaging me some information, because yes, so Simon says tomorrow at 5. So you give a listening to Sister Jenny Simon tomorrow. She does have some very salient points and interesting conversation. So be a part of that tomorrow. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It was a wonderful evening. It is 3 minutes past the hour. I am now making way for Talking Point that starts at 8 p.m. So, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening, and God's blessings to you. Anybody missing the program today, they can go and just take a recap. It is always there. It's always saved on my page. So, ladies and gentlemen, do have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening. 20 shares today was real nice. To the persons, to my special persons on my YouTube page. I want to say good evening to you guys. And over there is about 322 views. So I'm telling you guys, sometimes the persons are over on the other side. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, somebody saying ride along is interesting too. I try to stay away from this conversation of this whole thing. You know, I already prayed to the Almighty to give me the vision or the sight to see whether or not this individual is who they say they are. But however, in either way, God's blessings to each and every one of you. It was a pleasure. This is Royalty James signing out for another evening.
Things will be better. They told us things will be cheaper. They told us things will be easier.